Good day, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I am Engineer Jeric Picasso, an environmental consultant. Today, I will be presenting an overview of the framework of Philippine environmental laws, rules, and regulations, along with the mandates and functions of the Environmental Management Bureau. As an environmental professional, it's essential to understand how these legal frameworks guide our actions towards sustainable development and environmental protection. Our goal today is to build a solid understanding of how environmental governance is structured in the country. And by the end of this session, you should be able to identify key Philippine environmental laws and their significance. Understand how rules and regulations operationalize these laws, familiarize ourselves with the role of the Environmental Management Bureau, its core mandates and function. To begin understanding our environmental framework, let us first take a look at the Philippine environmental landscape. The Philippines belong to an elite list of only 17 megadiversity countries in the world. These are nations that host the majority of Earth's species and are considered extremely rich in biodiversity. Out of our total land area, about 15.8 million hectares are classified as public forest lands, a critical asset in maintaining ecological balance, regulating climate, and supporting countless communities. Our country, the Philippines, is packed with a remarkable variety of species. We are home to thousands of species of flora and fauna, many of which are endemic, meaning they are found nowhere else on Earth. In addition, the Philippines is part of the Coral Triangle, known as the global center of marine biodiversity. Our waters contain an extraordinary concentration of marine life, from coral reefs and mangroves to fish, sea turtles, and marine mammals. This unique environmental richness places a great responsibility on us to protect and manage our natural resources wisely. It is also why environmental laws and governance play such a crucial role. Despite our rich natural resources, the Philippines faces serious environmental challenges today. First, water pollution continues to worsen due to untreated effluent from both commercial and domestic activities, contaminating rivers, lakes, and even coastal waters. The mining operations, both legal and illegal, have caused widespread soil erosion, habitat destruction, and water contamination, damaging ecosystems and affecting nearby communities. Our endemic species, those found only in the Philippines, are increasingly threatened with extinction, mainly due to habitat loss and environmental degradation. And lastly, forest cover continues to decline, driven by illegal logging, land conversion, and weak enforcement of forestry laws. These issues highlight the urgent need for effective environmental laws and strong regulatory action. At the core of our environmental laws is a strong constitutional mandate. Article 2, Section 16 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution states that the state shall protect and advance the right of the people to a balanced and healthful ecology in accord with the rhythm and harmony of nature. This provision recognizes that a clean and healthy environment is a fundamental human right, It serves as the guiding principle for all environmental policies, programs, and regulations in the Philippines. It also empowers citizens and the government to take action in protecting our natural resources for present and future generations. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, is the primary agency responsible for the conservation, management, and proper use of the Philippines' environmental and natural resources. It was originally created through Executive Order 131 in 1987 under the name Department of Energy, Environment, and Natural Resources. Later, that same year, it was recognized and renamed through Executive Order number 192, formally establishing the Department of Environment and National and Natural Resources as we know it today. This reorganization aimed to streamline environmental governance and clearly define the DNR's role in managing forest, land, minerals, and other natural resources, while also addressing pollution and environmental protection. Section 4 of the Executive Order 192 outlines the core mandate of the Department of Environment and Natural Resources. The DENR is tasked to be the primary government agency responsible for the conservation, management, development, and proper use of the country's environment and natural resources. This include forest and grazing lands, mineral resources, watersheds, and lands of the public domain, as well as the protection of the environment from pollution. In short, DNR is both a resource manager and environmental protector, balancing development needs with sustainability and ecological integrity. At present, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources is led by Honorable Rafael P.M. Lotilla, who serves as Secretary. Under his leadership, the DNR remains guided by its core vision: a nation enjoying and sustaining its natural resources and a clean and healthy environment. And its mission to mobilize our citizenry in protecting, conserving, and managing the environment and natural resources for the present and future generation. These guiding statements reflect the DNR's strong commitment to sustainability, citizen involvement, and intergenerational responsibility. The DNR is structured to efficiently implement its wide ranging mandate through its central office, regional offices, bureaus, and attached agencies. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources is structured and composed of several key bureaus, including the Environmental Management Bureau, the Forest Management Bureau, the Biodiversity Management Bureau, the Land Management Bureau, the Mines and Geosciences Bureau, the Ecosystems Research and Development Bureaus. This organizational structure allows the DNR to address a wide range of environmental concerns from pollution control and forest protection to land use, biodiversity, and resource development. The Environmental Management Bureau under DENR is currently headed by Honorable Jacqueline A. Kaankan, who serves as its director. The director is supported by an assistant director who plays a key role in advising the secretary of the DNR on important matters concerning environmental management and pollution control. Together, they provide leadership and guidance to ensure that Environmental Management Bureau fulfills its mandate to protect and manage the country's environmental quality. The Environmental Management Bureau, or EMB, performs several critical functions to ensure the protection and preservation of our environment. The EMB is responsible for setting environmental standards, issuing permits, and ensuring compliance with key environmental laws. It accredits environmental laboratories, promotes public awareness, and represents the Philippines in international environmental agreement. The EMB is mandated to implement the five major environmental laws of the Philippines, ensuring effective pollution control and environmental protection. These laws cover critical areas such as air and water quality, solid waste management, toxic substances, and environmental impact assessment. Through strict enforcement and monitoring, the EMB helps safeguard our environment for current and future generations. The Environmental Management Bureau implements the five key environmental laws. One, the Environmental Impact Statement System that requires assessment of environmental effects before projects proceed. Toxic substances, number two, Toxic Substances and Hazardous and Nuclear Waste Control Act. This controls hazardous chemicals and hazardous waste. Number three, the Clean Air Act, which regulates air pollution. Number four, Ecological Solid Waste Management Act, governing proper solid waste disposal. And number five, the Clean Water Act, that protects water bodies from pollution. These laws form the backbone of the country's environmental protection effort. Environmental compliance means following all relevant environmental laws, rules, and regulations set by the government. For projects and businesses, this includes obtaining necessary permits and clearances, implementing required pollution control measures, regularly submitting compliance reports to authorities, and allowing inspections and responding promptly to any violations. Compliance helps protect natural resources, ensures public health and safety, and fosters sustainable development. Noncompliance, on the other hand, can lead to legal penalties, project delays, and damage to reputation. One of the key roles from the Environmental Management Bureau is to monitor and evaluate compliance with environmental laws and regulations, conducting regular inspections and audits of industries and projects that the EMB routinely visit factories, construction sites, and other business operations to physically check if they are following environmental laws. These inspections help identify potential problems early, ensure proper waste disposal, and verify that pollution control devices are working correctly. Reviewing submitted environmental reports and permits. The companies and project proponents are required to submit regular reports detailing their environmental performance, such as emission levels and waste management practices. EMB carefully reviews these documents to confirm compliance and to ensure permits are up to date and being properly followed. EMB measuring air, water, and noise quality to ensure standards are met. That the EMB conducts scientific monitoring by sampling air, water, and noise in and around project sites. These measurements are compared against national standards to detect pollution levels and verify that they remain within safe and acceptable limits. If a business or project fails to comply with environmental standards, the EMB has the authority to require corrective actions, such as installing pollution control equipment or device or improving waste management practices. In serious cases, fines, penalties, or even suspension of operations can be imposed to ensure accountability and protect the environment. Think of the EMB as the environment's strict but fair watchdog, always on patrol. They do regular checkups on industries and projects and peek through reports and permits to make sure everyone's playing by the rules. Under the Philippine environmental regulations, may any establishment that is an actual or potential source of pollution is required to submit or designate a pollution control officer or PCO. This includes facilities that have air emissions, water discharges, solid or hazardous waste generation. The designated PCO must be duly accredited by the Environmental Management Bureau and is responsible for ensuring the company's compliance with environmental laws, maintaining records, submitting reports, and coordinating with the EMB during inspections. Appointed or appointing a qualified PCO is not just a requirement, it's a vital step in minimizing a facility's environmental impact. To ensure that environmental compliance is professionally managed, the pollution control officer must be accredited by the Environmental Management Bureau Regional Office. Accreditation is required under DAO 2014-02 and applies to PCOs assigned to establishments that are actual or potential sources of pollution. To be an accredited, a PCO must complete the basic PCO training course conducted by EMB recognized training institutions, submit an application with documentary requirements such as training certificates, proof of employment, and academic background. Pass the EMB evaluation and approval process. The PCO accreditation is valid for 3 years and is renewable, provided that the officer completes the required refresher and continues to comply with EMB standards. This ensures that PCOs are qualified, updated, and capable of helping their organizations comply with environmental laws. For the renewal of PCO accreditation, the PCO must prove the that the company complies with all the requirements of major environmental laws. So this is all about the framework of environmental laws, rules and regulations, and the EMB function and mandate. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have learned something today. If you want to know more about environmental compliance, please subscribe to this channel. Please share and like this video. Thank you very much, and God bless us all.